I've been asked several times if I shoot on Canon, and short answer is no, I shoot on Sony. However, I did switch from Canon a few years ago, and I really love their color science. I found that Canon has a very warm reddish tone to it, while Sony's highlights in particular are a little bit on the green side. So I wanted to emulate a little bit of that Canon look even while switching brands. The reason I switched is the simple reason that Sony has been offering a little bit more for videographers versus photographers, and I primarily shoot video. So if you're a Sony user and also want to achieve that same look, here is a quick tutorial. Now this is actually a lot easier than you might think, and it first starts in the Sony color profiles, where you will simply crank the greens down a little bit. You can increase the red maybe by a couple points, take the yellow down slightly. It is all up to you and the exact measurements that you want. But most importantly, take those greens down because they tend to overpower other colors in the highlights. For the in-camera settings, that's it. From there, it all comes down to post. And for this, we're gonna be using Lumetri in Premiere Pro. And you can change your temperature slider, whatever else, but there are only two key components to changing the color. Those are the tint, which you are barely going to touch, literally maybe 2 or 3 points up. You can also change the hue sliders and whatever else, but that actually doesn't really come into play here. The key thing is in curves. All you're going to do is grab the green curve a little bit higher near the highlights, and you're gonna bring it down. Just a tiny bit, but when you start to do that, you'll notice just how shifted towards the greens those highlights and midtones actually were. From there, I add a custom LUT that has a brownish, reddish tint to it that really sells the look and gives a little bit more style to your footage. That said, I will have a Dropbox link in the description for you to download. And that's it. It really boils down to the reds and greens overall, but it's really all just up to taste. I mean, if you like Sony straight out of camera, that is great. I was just used to shooting on Canon for so long that I really liked it. I think it's a little bit smoother and flattering on skin tones versus green maybe is a little bit more grungy if there's too much of it. So if you found this video helpful, I would love to have you as a subscriber, and thank you so much for watching. Hey.